Real inflation is insane in 2023. Is that bad? Guys, is inflation bad?
$100,000 is the amount of money that Americans in 2023 are living paycheck to paycheck on, with zero kids. And this is all because as recently as the 1980s...
I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you had $100,000 and you're living paycheck to paycheck, maybe this is like a bad take, but I think you need to budget better. I think you're probably spending your money on things that are unnecessary and stupid. Now, I'm not talking about New York or San Francisco, right? But most people don't live in New York or San Francisco. Those are two cities in the whole country. So this is outrageous that 100K is supposed to be seen as getting by paycheck to paycheck. I am totally fine acknowledging that in very, very high cost of living places, this is reasonable. But this is vastly below the norm. And I guess we can look at it. Average cost of living per city in USA. So this is the average cost of living right here. And obviously we could go somewhere else, but this is just it. So outside of the top 10 most expensive cities, right here, every single one of these is below not only 100 but also 90,000. You have 2 kids and a wife, that doesn't work. I think that, didn't he say single? I'm pretty sure he said single.
80s, the Americans in 2023 are $100,000 is the amount of money that Americans in 2023 are living paycheck to paycheck on, with zero kids. And this is all...
Yeah, there you go. 0 kids. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I was right about that. Yeah, so it was, without kids. And so, I just, I see this kind of stuff, and I think it's kind of outrageous. Cost of living, this is like the average, I guess. Is I guess maybe $5,000 a month, which is like, 100 grand a year is like 8,000. I can't see somebody who is unable to make it by with $100,000 a year. I mean, as I said, I think that like I have no problem talking about how like the middle class is evaporating and wealth inequality is at the worst state that it's ever been, and all of this kind of stuff. But don't let that distract you from the fact that there are individual people that make bad financial decisions. And I don't think that every bad financial decision a person makes is because of billionaires. Sometimes it's just because they make bad financial decisions. That's it. It's worse than a Great Depression. It's worse than ever. Here we go.
Because as recently as the 1980s, the median salary in the United States was $21,000. And that would be brought in by a single earner. And at that same time, a 4-year degree would set you back 10 grand. And at that same time, the median price of a home in the United States was only $47,000. And that means that boomers had the option to work summers.
My dad bought the house that I'm in now for like 40 grand or something like that back in the day. It might have even been less than that. It was cheap as fuck.
They were going.
Now it's like half a
without
mil.
Any debt, and then they could just work 5 to 6 months of their real job as an adult to come up with the 20% down payment required to buy a home. 10 grand is all they needed to do that. But we flash forward 40 years, and thanks to inflation and appreciation, those homes are now worth $500,000.
Ah, this guy lives in Austin. I see. What a very convenient comparison. Holy shit. Yeah, there you go. It's everywhere, bro. I don't think it's everywhere. I mean, there's a few places that it's like this, but like not everywhere.
Almost impossible for younger generations to buy them, because in 2023 the median annual income for a single earner is $70,000. We've essentially doubled wages. But in that same time, a 4-year college degree has multiplied by 10x. You're looking at spending a full 100 grand on a 4-year college degree for out-of-state tuition. On top of that,
I think the problem really is that people get saddled with student loans that have interest on them, and so you basically, it's pretty much, it's financial grooming is what it really is. Because you have kids that are brought up, how many of you guys, whenever you were in middle school and high school, you were hearing all the time, if you don't go to college, you're going to be a fucking loser. And even if you weren't hearing it directly, it was implied, wasn't it? It was definitely implied. Yeah, go to college, you'll never make it. Yeah, it sure was. So guess what? You grow up in a society, you grow up in a place where everything that you do is leading towards college. And if you're not going toward, like, why do people do extracurricular activities in high school? Most of the people that I knew that did it didn't do it because they even liked the activity. They didn't do it for any other reason other than to put it on their college resume or their college, fucking application or something like that. Nobody gave a shit about being part of the journalism club. Nobody cares about this shit. They just want to have this so they can use it to get into like the UT or Baylor or some other place here, right? They don't give a fuck. And so point is that then you have these kids that feel like, well, I need to take out this Faustian pact with the government and that will never go away. It will be there for my whole life. I can never remove it from bankruptcy like every single other type of debt, basically. But I need to do this because if I don't do this, I'm going to be a loser for the rest of my life. And that's really what it is. So big fucking surprise. Like I have a friend Alec, right? You guys heard about Alec many times. I've known him ever since middle school. Well, he had close to $100,000 in student debt. A lot of reasons for that. It's complicated. I'm not going to get into it. Either way, now Alec is doing great. He's making 6 figures, and his job is, last time I checked, his job is he's an engineer, and he turns big rocks into little rocks. And that's his job. That's what he does. And he is still paying that shit off. And he's going to probably be, and he's 32, 33. No, he's 33. He's 33 fucking years old. He's still paying the shit off that he graduated for like 10 years ago. So like you're stuck in this indentured servitude Faustian pact of student loan debt that people have for their whole life. And then some people just embrace the fucking the entropy of it, and they just say to themselves, I'm just gonna die with this debt, and I'm gonna live with my parents until they die, and then I'm gonna inherit their house, and I'm just never gonna pay this off. I'm never gonna be successful. It is what it is. For real. It's usury. Yes, it is. It's crazy. Took me 8 years to pay my loans off. It's nuts, man. It's very, very, very shitty. Best thing husband did was not go to college. I went to college. I did. And obviously I didn't fucking finish, right? Didn't finish getting like I have a college degree, but I wanted to get like an advanced degree at a business school, and for computer information systems, I was doing that. And then my YouTube started doing well, and I was like, I'm already making $1,500 a month off of YouTube. What the fuck am I doing here? I'm just going to invest more time into YouTube and do that all the time. And so then I quit school. But anyway, this is like maybe 6 months after I started YouTube. But I went to college myself. 15K? No, 1,500. I didn't need a lot of money, okay? Like I still spent $1,500 a month, basically. The problem is, like, for no money, from that 100K goes to useful stuff. The college basketball coach needs a $5 million salary. Well, I don't really want to talk, like, I don't know, I'm not an expert in the financials of fucking, like, some school, like, I'm not an accountant for a college. I don't understand why this is a problem. All I'm saying is that the fact that you can't get these loans removed and these people are just saddled with like a massive amount of money that they have to pay is a big reason why people, it's harder for them to get on their feet. It's because they're stuck into indentured servitude and there's no way out except for death. Isn't that cute?
With homes being $500,000 to start, to get a degree and a home today, you'd have to live in your parents' basement rent-free and work your ass off for 3 straight years just to pay off your college debt, have a down payment for your home, all without any dependents or a partner. And that's if you didn't put a single penny towards things like food, gas, insurance, healthcare, your car payment, or your stupid fur babies that you think are your actual children.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And also, like, I mean, people deserve to have entertainment, right? I mean, it's not like you shouldn't spend any money on entertainment. Like, I think entertainment budget for a person, The thing is, your entertainment budget can be 80% of your budget. But if you're having money problems, that's the first thing that needs to go. So I'm not going to criticize somebody for spending all their money on entertainment. But if they're having money problems and complaining about it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I wonder what it is.
Yes, I love you too, but if times get hard, I know you're going to make a delicious, delicious soup.
Ooh. Well, he didn't like that.
And all of this has happened because of inflation, which has reduced the value of our dollars over 95% in the last 100 years.
I don't think that this is a full picture because it's not just inflation. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll bring another chart up. So this is a pretty common chart. I think a lot of people are used to seeing this. So this is a chart that shows productivity versus wages. And as you can see, productivity goes up. Worker production goes up, wages, you see how the line stops going up? And like, you remember, like, this guy is using 1980 as a frame of reference of whenever it was good, which is like, this is probably like 1970-ish, right? But, big surprise, about the same time that 1980 happened, can't see? Sorry. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. So yeah, if you look at these charts, I mean, there's a million of these, right? There's this, real producer wage, labor productivity. I mean, fuck, how many of these are there here? And you can just look this up and unironically educate yourself, on your own time. But the point is that people do more work, they produce more resources and goods, and they get paid comparatively less money because of inflation. So let's go ahead and look at here. Here's another thing that we'll look at here. So we have, this is the minimum wage. I'm just using Texas as a reference here. Is that the minimum wage has been, it used to be like, let's see 1980, right? This is where he's using it. So it's like probably $3.30, something like that, a little bit over $3. And then now, even though money has more than doubled, the wages are, probably like more than quadrupled at this point, especially with cost of living and everything. The wages have only slightly doubled. So yeah, like even now, minimum wage in Texas is less than $8. So yeah, it's really bad. It's fucking brutal. Like, there's a reason why people are like rioting, and there's like anti-work is so popular, and people love the idea of socialism. Like, no matter how you feel about like socialism or, anti-work people or anything like that, whenever you see these charts, they paint a picture that's pretty understandable, doesn't it? Like, I think it's pretty understandable. Like, even if you disagree with their conclusion, you can see how they got here. You can see why they're unhappy.
Because back then, this stack of $100,000 would have actually had purchasing power of $1.8 million today, which means by saving your money in today's environment, you're actually losing it. And the reason this has happened is because our government prints money to subsidize the pharmaceutical industrial complex, the military industrial complex, and other big corporate organizations and entities. They get subsidized by taxpayer dollars that are printed into existence, and the value of the money that's being held and saved by the American people just gets inflated away. And those giant corporations use the money to pay their CEOs big bonuses and figure out ways how to deliver less value and charge even more money. And this has been going on for a few decades, and it's completely carved out the middle class in the West. And the Western world is at its breaking point. Right now in the United States, gas on average is around $4 a gallon.
How much is gas where you guys are at? It's like $3. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's around like $3 to $4, something like that. Yeah, the trillions of dollars they can't account for. I mean, look, the thing is that people are never going to hold the government accountable because people don't understand math. The education system has done a very good job making sure that people have no working knowledge of math beyond addition and subtraction. Most people don't even know how to multiply numbers. Do you remember whenever I did schooled, and then most people couldn't do 8 times 25? Like 60 times 12? That's terrifying. And this is just basic arithmetic. To rely on calculators? Well, it's not that. The thing is that if you understand math theory, and I would say that my understanding on math theory is a 2, meanwhile, these other people are like a 1, okay? Like, I'm not a fucking mathematician, all right? I don't get it that well either. I've taken like maybe, like, I don't know, like 10 classes, college level classes in math. It's not a degree, like, and 2 or 3 of these were accounting, which is basically just a different type of arithmetic. But that's it. Yeah, math is hard. But the thing is that math is hard, but they don't teach people math. That's the issue.
Breakfast for 4 at McDonald's, which used to be an affordable option, costs as much as a weekly budget for a week's worth of food for a typical American home. But things are even crazier than what we see on the surface.
Here's a question, right? Do you think that your high school education prepared you mathematically for life? No. Okay. But keep in mind also, we have a global audience here. So, like, you know, I'm talking about issues that are, like, innate to, like, the U.S. And also keep in mind, too, that somebody could have gone to a high school that's just like a, you know, this is like a top 10% high school, right? Where, like, the average income of a family there is, like, 80 grand plus. So, like, the schools there are better. In general, if you are poor, you get a bad education, and, you know, it's just everything is worse, and no fights too. Yeah, it depends, right? But sure. And if you're not, then it's different. Mine was top 10. Yeah, it's totally different. I went to public US. It was more than fine. Okay, well, I'm glad that it was different for you, right? But I think for a lot of people, they don't really understand. Like, for example, like if it was up to me, I would replace Algebra 2 with statistics. Like, I see people arguing statistics all the time with, like, COVID vaccines and immigration and stuff like that. It's insane. It's actually so fucking sad. Real world shit, yeah. Like, how many of you guys have ever used something that you used, like, unless you have, like, a specialized STEM field degree or something like that, how many of you ever used, like, you know, dividing fractions or something like that after high school? Something you learned in Algebra 2. Substitution. Get the fuck out of here. It's a waste of time.
Even though things cost more today, you get way less for your money. And here is an example. This Hot Wheel costs $1.25. If you go buy one right now, you'll see similar prices.
So just the price of toys in general have gotten crazy.
Really?
$6.99 for this car.
No way, bro, what?
Like
no,
for like
dude, I
$10.
gotta go to. Wait, what is this? No way. I remember my mom would buy these for me for a fucking $1.
Car.
Oh fuck!
Right
It's too. I want to see, like, maybe he just got the most expensive one or something like that. Hot Wheels are hot collectible, dude. $6 or $7. That's no way, dude.
Remember when you got like a big toy for like $10? Look at this.
But in the 80s, that same car only cost 94 cents.
Yeah.
This price difference represents
I remember
roughly
that.
a 25% increase in price over 40 years. And you might not think that that's too bad, but there's something going on that you're not aware of. The materials going into today's Hot Wheels cars are not even comparable to what they used to be made out of. The 80s Hot Wheels cars are made out of die-cast metal.
I know that because me and my friend Lowell, we used to get out in the front yard, and the cars that we didn't like, we would smash them with a hammer. And, like, there were the plastic ones that would just, like, boo! And then the other ones, we would why? Because it's fun. And so, blow them up. Yeah, well, you couldn't do that. Yeah, we would just smash them with a hammer. Yeah, it was just fucking fun. And so, the metal ones, I remember we'd really have to work at those.
Days use a little bit of metal and mostly plastic. This is much higher quality. It's built to last.
God.
It feels heavier. It's more enjoyable of an experience to play with if you're into that sort of thing. And this is not. This is going to break much sooner than this will. Now, you can still buy these, the fully die-cast metal Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, what are they, like $12?
If you want to buy them like they used to be made, that car is going to cost you $2.97, which is an increase of 215% in just 40 years.
Jesus.
Wages have not kept up with that. And in 2023, with the middle class at its breaking point, corporations are pushing harder to increase prices while driving down the value that they're actually delivering for the money they're asking you to give them for their product. This is called shrinkflation, and that's being layered on top of...
Oh, this is so fucking true, man. It's like what I said about Totino's pizzas. They try to pull this fucking shit. They make it a square. You see that shit? You see that fucking shit right there? Get ready. Look at that. Look at that. Fills the whole fucking plate. That's an old one right there. We're getting fucked. And it was $1.
The actual inflation caused by economic policies by our government. Governments all over the world, in fact, are printing money like it's their only pleasure in life. And this is why your money isn't going as far as it used to, which is why...
True. True, true, true. No, saying pizza's like sex. It's good even when it's bad. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I understand millionaire complains about cost of living. Well, the thing is, like, I mean, it's not a big deal for me. I just buy the more expensive one. Who cares? But, like, the difference is that, like, I'm not stupid. Like, it doesn't take a fucking genius to look at the math of how much money people make and then see how much money they have to spend and be like, I don't think that's very good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be a wizard to know this. Boomers lived the dream and then pulled the ladder up after themselves and left the rest of us to drown. There are still people that are successful and, like, I mean, listen. There are a lot of advantages and opportunities you have now. And it's like, this obviously sucks. It's a rigged system. It's definitely bad. But you've got to... Fuck. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You just going to die? Okay, cool. All right. Well, I mean... What else is there? Was it intentional? They put in place programs and actions they thought were good and ended up having horrible repercussions. I mean, didn't Dwight D. Eisenhower, the guy that, was influential in winning World War II, didn't he talk about the military-industrial complex, even invent the term? So yeah, I don't think this is necessarily boomers with good intentions. People saw exactly what was wrong with this, even before boomers were around. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that. Let's see here. 100K for university is crazy. In Italy, the most expensive university doesn't even come close to that. Plus, most families can ask for a reduction and even a complete removal of taxes. Yeah, I don't know what it's like over in Europe. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe they have different problems, same problems. I have no idea. But over here, yeah, it costs a lot of money. It's insane. We've seen spend 100K a year. Some people spend 100K. I think that the average tuition for a college, like if you're living at the college, I think it's probably like $30,000 to probably like $25,000 to $40,000 a year. And then if you're not living at the college, it's probably $15,000 to $30,000 a year. Like I'm extrapolating from what it was whenever I was in college. So like I could be wrong. And this is like I'm not including like super cheap colleges or super expensive ones. I'm just saying like in like in the middle, right? Somewhere around there. Am I right about that? Yeah, I don't know. It's like $35K a year now, maybe 40. Okay. Even community college is getting expensive. Okay, yeah, all right, cool. How much is community college? How much is a class for community college now? Yeah, how much is a class? Like, let's say you want to do English 1. It's $250. Yeah, I remember it's like $200 whenever I went there. $2K a semester. Yeah, I mean, that's still like almost double. If it's 2,000. 4 classes, 1,700. For nursing? Holy shit. Yeah, that's way more. You don't need English 101 if you had decent grades in high school. That's actually not true. I understand what you're saying. And yes, you could maybe test out of it, but there are some schools that don't offer being able to test out of it. And also the only other way that you could get credit for it was if you took AP English in high school. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that that's... Like, and also English is just the first example. Like, I can think of 10 other ones, right? That's AP English. Yeah. AP English and pass the AP test. Yeah, I know, I did it. And so I was able to skip a few classes myself. Australian University is $8K a year. Holy shit. Part of the reason why BRICS countries wanting to create their own currency, move away from the dollar is and will become useless. Well, I'm not sure. I don't really... Like, at that level, like, I just have no control over that. I don't understand a lot of that financial stuff, so I don't really want to talk about it a lot. Depression 2.0 is going to be a banger. I mean, I feel like people are kind of already in it. Like, I'll be real. I think that there's a lot of people that are already in. I mean, obviously, it's nothing like the Great Depression, but there's a lot of people that are already in the depression, man. It's bad.